The other thing with physical environment, it was really interesting. When George came, we talk a lot with George Zillion. He comes to our place from time to time, and we have long conversations, some of which Taze has recorded. And the last time he was with us, we talked a lot about physical environment, and he said, I really have come to the conclusion that the physical environment is the very first treatment intervention. It's the very first one. It's nonverbal. It's a very, very powerful, because it tells you immediately whether you are respected, whether your culture is respected, and whether this is a safe place and a different place than you've been before. So putting a lot of emphasis on the physical environment is really, really valuable. Again, it really pays big benefits in terms of retention. It pays big benefits in terms of a feeling of safety and engagement. When we were running a TC is like being on the edge of a financial cliff about 90% of the time. You're nodding your head, yeah. So during one of the periodic financial crises that we have, I went and arranged to buy a bronze statue. My board of directors was not pleased, with this decision. I bought it over time. It was really a good deal. I was able to buy it over 2 years, and the person who sold it to me sold it at a discount because we're a TC. And it's a beautiful statue of an eagle dancer, Native American eagle dancer. Ronnie and Kathleen have seen it. And so when I had to justify this, we had gone from a population of 20% Native Americans to a population of 80% Native Americans. And I said, the moment somebody comes on our campus who's Native American, they're going to see that statue and they're going to know that we respect their culture and that this is a good place to be. And I said, it will pay, we're paying now, it will pay us back many times over the years. And we have discovered that every investment we make in the physical environment, and they don't have to be expensive, that's an unusual one, but most of the time it's just about really thinking about the physical environment from the perspective of a student, not from the perspective of an employee. What does that student see? What do they feel? What do they need? Okay? Now I mentioned this, and I want to overemphasize it. The faculty, the counselors, whatever term you use, are so important. We call our faculty demonstrators. We use the term demonstrators. We say the most powerful form of teaching is personal demonstration. Okay? You must be the mission. You must live the mission. You must embody the mission. Okay? And if you aren't doing that, then you're not teaching well. What's coming out of your mouth is, okay, great, but what you do, is much more important, that you are credible. And there's a lot of things you can do. We went to this one prison, and we'd done really, really well at the prison that we were showing, and we were feeling pretty good about ourselves. They were violent offenders, and we did really, really well. We had a good study showing the outcomes. So then we went to a higher level prison, the highest in the state. And man, these guys were beating us like a drum. 6-7 months, and we couldn't get anybody to buy in. It was hostility on steroids. And one day, it started to flip. And I remember talking to this one kid who'd been a real jerk. And I was talking to him, I said, okay, so now you like us, okay, so what happened? He said, man, we tried for 7 months to find a wedge between the faculty. We tried trying to figure out, there's got to be some hole in this thing. And they said every day faculty walked in, black and white, Hispanic, men and women, and we could not find that wedge, you know. And we tried. They said, I want to belong to your gang. It's better than the gang I belong to. But it works. If they really, faculty is the first circle of community. If your faculty doesn't come together, you can't really expect the students or the clients to come together. There's got to be a real sense of community, camaraderie, cooperation, and genuine affection, you know, amongst the faculty for it to really happen, for things to really happen. And that really leads to, do you have faculty that realize when the boat leaves the dock, no matter what deck you're on, you've left land, you're on a journey together. A lot of faculty come in and want to teach, but they don't want to change. The nature of the therapeutic community is everybody changes. Okay, I've been involved for 50 years. I have got as much benefit as anybody I know from being involved in the therapeutic community. My life is dramatically different than it would have been. Okay? And I've had to grow and change every year. And that's one of the most important things in selecting faculty. Can they grow? Can they continue to learn? Or have they reached a plateau where they're just happy to stay exactly where they are? If they are, they're a lid on the community. They are a lid. Because if they're not growing and changing and learning, you've really got the, you know, a learning man is alive and a learned man is dead. Okay? So that's very, very important in terms of the faculty that you select to be those leaders in the therapeutic community. To make that personal demonstration, they got to be on fire with their own process of growth and learning.